I put 100 of the highest tier horse archers of every single faction against 1000 of the worst units in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. Watch till the end, find out whether any of these super powerful horse archer units can actually be 1000 stinky peasants. And FYI, only the coolest people in the entire world hit that subscribe button. So there you go. If you're cool, you'll hit it. Let's go. First up, to do this test, we have got 1000 stinky ass peasants versus 100 Imperial Bucellarii, 1000 Imperial Broccolis. Let's see how these guys get on. They have got a lot of plate armor, but if you see their horse is super bog standard. It's like a stable pony, just a not very good horse at all. So it hasn't got any armor whatsoever. But these guys do have the short bow, and they've also got a one-handed sword. They don't have any shield, but they're pretty good units. They start off as melee units, and you can give them a horse in the game, and then they turn into a ranged archer unit. They've also got that short bow, and I think they've got around 20 bullets. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they've got 20 to 24 bullets. So what could happen, a possibility, is that they run out of arrows before the 1000 actually die. That is a very real possibility. But I haven't done this test before. This is going to be super interesting to see if these 100 horse units can defeat 1000 disgusting peasants. I have already done a cavalry unit video. I did the melee cavalry unit versus 1000 peasants, and that did not go well at all. None of the 1000 cavalry units managed to kill the 1000 peasants. There were just too many. There's just too many peasants. As you can see here, they're clumping up super heavily. But I'm interested to see the AI for these horse archers, because if you set them to charge formation, which I've done here, so I've done line formation and then charge command, it looks like they automatically start to circle the peasants. So depending on where your enemy is, it looks like they will just circle them around the entire perimeter, firing arrows into the crowd of peasants. But it looks like some AI may have some brain problems.
I will destroy humans.
Because they seem to be running into the pack of peasants, and one of them just died there. That is a really stupid thing for these Imperial Broccolis to do, because if they run into those peasants, firstly they can't get through because they just get crammed and blocked and sandwiched in there. Secondly, some of these peasants have pikes, and pikes and spears are really easy to dismount horses. All you need is one good shot into the midsection of the horse, or hit the actual unit on top of the horse in the face, and you can kill them, or you can do some serious damage, especially if they're going fast. Oh my good lord, that horse just got his whole entire family taken out from that blow. My goodness, his face must be full of dirt. That is awful. And I should let Peter know that no horses were harmed in the making of this video. However, peasants were harmed, which is what I intend to do in all of these tests, is to harm all of the peasants. That soldier is just a flicking Rambo guy. He just killed 2 people and just jumped up. I don't even think that was his horse. He just stole a horse. But there's a lot of horse bodies there on the floor. Again, Peter, not real. 2 Imperial Broccoli soldiers down there. Wow, just looking at that bar up there, that green bar is super. Oh, that guy's just looting the battlefield. He's stealing some wallets. What a flipping gangster. He's just taking wallets from the battlefield. I don't think them peasants will miss it anyway. But it looks like, yeah, so that's it. That's it. Game over. It looks like the Imperial Broccolis weren't enough to defeat the 1000 peasants. Interesting. Let's see what happens in the next round, because this is gonna be interesting. But next up, we have got the Aserai Mamluke Heavy Cavalry. These guys are tier 5 Aserai faction, and wow, those arrows are absolutely pelting in. Way better than the Imperial Broccolis did. Just even looking at these units, they look way more powerful than the Imperial Broccolis. They look super heavy decked out. If you remember the Imperial Broccoli units, their horses had 0 armor. They were like stable ponies. They're really crap, so any peasant could just hit them and they would die basically. But these heavy tier 5 archer units have got serious plate mail on their horse, which is going to be super beneficial in this battle, because as you can see, even though they're wrapping around the outside. And I have to say, that is a really, really cool formation they are doing around the outside. Look at those ones in the background. That is a perfect, almost perfect circle around them 1,000 stinky, get the hell off my horse, stinky peasants. This is going to be really, really close. Holy moly, if you look at that bar up there, there has been probably 15 Mamluke casualties, and that peasant bar is flying down super quick. Just from even the first, I don't know what, 30 seconds? Just from these 30 seconds, I'm going to go with the Aserai Heavy Cavalry. I think they're going to do it. This is super a good start. This is a really good start. And this reminds me of, like, what's that faction that used to do this? The Mongols. Yeah, the Mongols. This reminds me of what the Mongols would do. Imagine being one of those stinky, brainless peasants, and you got just this crappy little shack that you live in, and these armored Mongol units just come and invade your village. No, don't invade my village. Yes, we will invade your village. We'll kill all of you. And then they come round and just circle the peasants and destroy them with their arrow fire. That would be flipping. That is badass, man. That is a scary sight, man. They are literally like kamikaze pilots flying into. They're actually insane. These guys, man. I mean, these horses are super. Look at him. He just charged straight through them peasants, and it looks like, I think this is going to be a peasant victory, to be honest. That green bar is going down super quick. Each got poked in the face, and I don't know if these Mamlukes, especially if they literally do what they are doing right now, which is charging in head first like stupid peasants into the peasants, and the AI clearly does not want to win this. I don't know why. They're charging in with their sword, and they clearly have a death wish, and it looks like they probably aren't going to win this one at this point. They've decided to not use arrows. I mean, maybe they've run out of arrows and they actually don't have any arrows left, so they're resorting to melee combat. Knowing the AI being pretty stupid, I don't think that's the case. I think they just want to go into melee combat, and that is it. That's the Aserai Mamluke Heavy Cavalry done. They did not do it. The peasants won again, and yeah, goes to the peasants. Let's see if any of these tier 5 horse archer units can do it. So far, it's not looking good, but we'll see. Let's find out. In the next round, where we have the super strong Khuzait Heavy Horse Archers. These guys, I have to say, are one of the best horse archer units in the game. I don't know if that means their AI is any better. Let's find out. It looks like so far, not too many of them have charged in like brainless idiots. It looks like a lot of them have stayed in a Mongol kind of pack, where they're just on the outskirts of these peasants, firing their arrows into that huge, disgusting ball of peasant slime, and they're getting off quite a few kills, to be honest. I don't think I've seen one red little ticker on the right that says one of these Khuzait Heavy Horse Archers have died yet. There we go, there's one. I think that's the first death, and they probably killed close to 100 if that bar's 1,000. So this is a really good solid start. Oh man, this guy, that's so satisfying to watch. Look at them. They're all just dying. Oh, that is super satisfying to watch. I don't know about you guys, but watching peasants get slaughtered in their tracks is one of my favourite pastimes. Very enjoyable hobby. I like to do it. That's why I set up these matches mostly, so I can just watch these peasants die. And you can see that looks so cool. That big pack of Mongol, I mean, I know they're not Mongols, but they look like Mongols. I imagine this is how the Mongols would fight. Big horse archer pack, just teasing the peasants, teasing them. You guys can get close if you want. Smack, arrow right in the face. This is pretty satisfying. I think at this point, as long as these Khuzait Heavy Archers don't run out of arrows, that's the only thing I think that can make them lose this at this point, because they're nearly down to halfway. So they've nearly killed 500 peasants, and not many of them are resorting to melee combat. Looks like some of the reinforcements are coming from behind us here, so they're trying to melee fight, and they might catch a couple of these Khuzait Heavy Archers. They might catch a couple, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like the numbers that they're maintaining are super high. This is a even if they don't win at this point, they've definitely done the best by far. And they're still keeping that pack on the outside, that kind of circling pack around the peasants. That is the best strategy, 100%. And I'm glad the developers of this game have programmed the horse archers to do this as an AI unit. Because to be honest, realistically, if this was going to be a real battle, this is exactly what the horse archers would do. They would not be charging in head first to fight in melee like the heavy Mamlukes were doing previously. They wouldn't do that. If you're a horse archer, you are getting the hell out of there. You aren't even getting close to stinky peasants. Firstly, because they're stinky, you don't want to get any stink on you. Secondly, because you want to fire your arrows and actually win the battle. You know, that's kind of what you're trying to do, win the battle. And it looks like these Khuzait heavy horse archers are going to win this, I think. Looking at that bar, that's basically 100 versus 300 maybe. And even if they went in melee now, they probably would win against 100 versus 300, to be honest. But they're still firing the arrows, taking out all those peasants. I think this is going to be a win, but let's see. It might not be, I might be wrong. Peasants could turn around and start throwing their weapons and, you know, pull out arrows themselves and start firing back, but probably not. These horse archers are keeping a really good distance. And they're not running already, are they? Are they retreating? I don't know if they're retreating. No, I think they are still chasing. I wasn't really too sure because they're just all running in one direction. I don't know what the peasants are doing in this AI. It looks like they kind of lock onto one of the horses and just kind of follow them blindly in one direction. I don't know. It looks... No, they're not running yet. I thought they were running. Because they're running straight in... Oh, actually, there are quite a lot running away over here. These guys are running for their lives. They clearly know this battle's lost. And I think that's probably the beginning of the end for these peasants. These Khuzait heavy horse archers. Go on, slice him. Oh, nearly. They are doing so well. I think these are probably going to win at this point. Unless they all start to run into kamikaze. That's the only way I can see them losing. I don't think they're all retreating yet, but there's a lot of horse archers up here taking place in the battle where they're trying to basically chase. Oh, that guy got sliced down, man. Sliced down in his tracks. But I think these... Oh, that guy... They both just got slaughtered, man. Oh, yeah. Slaughter these cowardice peasants. That's it. They've done it. The Khuzait heavy horse archers have done it. Perfect. Excellent. 899 kills. Excellent. Great job by the Khuzait horse archers. So let's see if anyone else can do it in the next round. We've got 1,000 discussing peasants versus 100 Khuzait Kheshig. I'm going to say Kheshig, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure everyone in the comments will. But let's say they're Khuzait Kheshigs. These guys are pretty strong for a tier 5 horse archer unit. I don't know how their AI is planned or programmed, but based on just their skill and attributes, these guys are one of the stronger tier 5 horse archer units. I think there's only 5 tier 5 horse archer units, and then there's 1 tier 6. So these guys have, of course, the archer longbow or shortbow, whatever it is. They've got that. They've got 20-ish bullets, 20-ish arrows to use. And they also have a super big, like, polearm halberd, which can use to be poked, and it can also use to slice. And I'm pretty sure it can slice these peasants in one hit and kill them. So if they do decide to go melee, which I'm hoping they leave till a very long time, they will be able to do significant damage. But wow, there's a lot of dead bodies here. They are doing super well with their... That's so satisfying to watch. A huge clump of peasants and just this huge army of horse archers just literally circling them and picking them off. Super satisfying to watch. And they're all getting absolutely... I don't know what. There's a couple of them just decide to just charge through the middle of them. I'm thinking maybe the circle, the AI circle that's programmed, is made to a certain size, possibly, and it's not made to 1,000 peasant size. So maybe they kind of... the circle gets cut off halfway in between the peasant circle. I don't know, I'm just guessing. So maybe that's why they decide to charge through into the peasants. I don't know why. Look, this guy's like, oh, that guy just got flipping taken out on his knees like a peasant beggar he is. Probably used to being on his knees, begging for change in the streets, a dirty peasant. But this should be... Oh, actually, is this even going to be a close one? The Khuzait Kheshigs are about halfway. So they got 50 soldiers left, and they're deciding for some reason to go in melee combat. I don't know why. There's a couple still on the outskirts firing arrows, and it might be close, this one, but if I had to bet right now, I would say the peasants are going to win. I mean, the peasants have got way more soldiers now, and for some reason the AI decides to do melee combat, and that's it. I think that's going to be the end of it. Yeah, there's literally hardly anyone left. There's no way they can win at this point. Peasants win this one. So 614 kills, not bad. But let's move on to the next round and see. Finally, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the tier 6 Khuzait Khan's Guard. These guys, if you're familiar with this game, these guys are so friggin' OP, it is ridiculous. If they don't beat 1,000 peasants, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to retire and stop making videos and call it a day and delete this video if they don't defeat all 1,000 of these peasants. Because these guys are so friggin' OP. I don't know if their AI is programmed better than some of the tier 5 horse archers. I'm really not sure how the AI works, but they are keeping a super far big circle around the peasants. It feels like, even though we're 30 seconds in, their AI is programmed a little better than the other tier 5 units. As I say that, there's literally 2 of them that just run straight in the middle of them. But they definitely have higher archer skills than the tier 5 units, so they'll be more accurate, they'll be more powerful, the arrows will be better, so everything about them will be more powerful. Even their horse will have better armor compared to the rest of the tier 5 horse archer units. So they should be a walk in the park. I could be wrong, but if I look at that green bar at the top, they've lost hardly any. They've maybe lost 7, 8, maybe 10 Khuzait Khan's Guard at this point. And they have got a shed loads of kills. These guys are super strong. If you haven't used them in your army yet, they are quite frankly OP. If you ever go against the Khuzait faction and you try to fight against a lot of these Khan's Guards, they just friggin' kite your infantry units so bad. Even if you've got shields, they just run around the side, and the only way to really stop them is to do circle formations. You can block from every side, but you can never kill them. They literally just keep running around, just exactly like what they're doing here. Look at that massive trail of Khan Guards. They keep their distance so far from the enemy. It's like perfect. These are what I would imagine the Mongols were like. Just keeping a perfect circle all the way around the outside, and the peasants are just running around chasing their tail like mindless zombie chickens that they are, and not winning this battle. It doesn't look like. I can pretty confidently say if we just watch a couple of them get taken out from the ranged units, I don't think these peasants have a chance. This is going to be super one-sided, but still very entertaining to watch. We get to watch as 1,000 peasants die and scream in agony as they get arrows to their skull and get dead. This is going to be super satisfying. I'm pretty sure at this point the Khan's Guard have more soldiers. So even if they went full melee, I think the peasants are they running away already? I think a lot of them in the background there are actually running away. So this is going to be super easy for these Khan's Guard. Oh yeah, they're starting to just use their... I think they're just taking the mick now. They're just taking the piss. They could use their arrows, but they're deciding to use their lances, as it's so much more satisfying to slice off the peasants' heads. And we can just watch as they slice them away, and there we have it. The peasants are running away, and holy moly, they took out hardly any of the Khan's Guard. This Khan's Guard is so friggin' strong, it's crazy. So that was it. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Khuzait Khan's Guard and the Khuzait Heavy Horse Archers are the only tier 5 and tier 6 units to be able to beat 1,000 peasants. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and take it easy.